Class Link, Class Link. That is not Class Link.
Yeah, but this is.
Oh, that is Class Link.
I'm already on school.
Okay. All right, so I was here, I peeked in on you guys yesterday just to find out like, what you guys were doing. So I know you have started your research. Hopefully you found a lot of good resources, and Ms. Sheely had you go ahead and save the URL. So now we're going to take that URL and turn it into a proper citation. Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. And since you guys are all sophomores and juniors, yes?
Yes.
Sophomores, juniors, any seniors in here? No, sophomores and juniors. I think you guys have all been through this already before. So, what you're going to do is you are going to go to Noodle Tools. Mine's a little further down. It's the little guy jumping up and down because he's so excited to help you cite your sources. All right, it might ask you to reaffirm who you are. Log in with Google. Anytime it asks, always log in with Google. Okay, mine came right up to my projects. Yours might ask you a couple of questions before that, like, yep, log in with Google. It might ask, like, what high school are you? Should you
I don't know what to put for this.
You know what? What does it mean? What does Lee Davis say? Does it say Lee Davis?
I don't know.
It does. It still does say Lee Davis. You know what? For right now, we're gonna stick with Patrick Henry. When you go there,
I'm not
next
done
week-
yet.
That's right. Okay, so pick Patrick Henry if it asks.
New project.
Yep, we're gonna do a new project. All right. You got it. It's alphabetical. So Patrick, yep. See it? Patrick Henry, you got it. All right. We're good over there too. Oh, some people are already getting ahead because you've done this. Okay. Add a new project, like some of you have already done. Name it something that is meaningful to you. I'm going to do self project, and I'm doing algae. Okay? Then you've got some choices here. What citation style? These are the three most popular: MLA, APA, and Chicago. The answer to this question is always whatever your teacher tells you. Okay?
APA.
If you want to know, yeah. Oh, we didn't even. Did you hear that? What is in here? What does Miss Sheely want?
APA.
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 That is the science. Science usually does APA. In your English classes, we'll probably say MLA, and I think there's one teacher here who actually uses Chicago. So again, when the question is what style, citation style do I use? Whatever your teacher tells you to. So you're doing APA. Now citation level, this is all about how many options it's going to give you. If you pick starter, it's going to give you only basic options like a book, a website. Junior's going to give you more options, and advanced is almost overwhelming. I mean, you could cite the side of a cereal box if you chose advanced. So sometimes that's overwhelming. I always advise just doing junior. That's going to give you everything you need. And submit. Okay. I love Noodle Tools. Love Noodle Tools. My only complaint, you love Noodle Tools? Lily, is that what you said? Yes, that's what you said?
No.
That's what you said.
She did
No.
That's what you mean. That's what you mean. I think really this lesson should start out with, let's all do it by hand like we had to do
Right.
in the day.
Then you will love
Yeah.
Noodle Tools.
You would love Noodle Tools. Anyway, all right. My only complaint about Noodle Tools is that I don't love that it automatically takes you to this dashboard. This could be a cool tool, but none of the teachers are really using it here. It's like next level stuff. If you want to do collaborative project, you're not going to need this. So I want you to be aware because students get lost here. I need your eyes up here. Make sure your eyes are up here. There is this menu up here. This is the list of all your projects if you click up here. This is that dashboard that it just took us to. The one you're going to use most is sources. Make sure you click on sources. You're not going to use note cards either. All right? So just don't get lost there. You always want to be on sources. All right. Now, we are ready to add a new source. I know you guys have already found your sources. So, I'm going to show you, just to kind of motivate you a little bit, like what this should look like. Here, I did the beginning of the project that you guys are doing. Now, I chose to get my picture off the internet, which means I'm not going to earn the top marks in this, right? What do you have to do to earn top marks in here?
Yeah, you gotta draw.
You got to draw your own, which is nice. And then I started with my background information. I did put an image of cells, algae
That's
cells in
right.
the background.
That's right.
And then you can see I started adding some information in here and doing an in-text citation, which we're going to get to in a bit. But what I want to show you is the reference page. This is what we're working on. You found your sources. Let's cite them correctly and get them onto this reference page in your slideshow. Okay, so step one, and you guys have already done this, you have found some sources. I'm gonna look up algae cell, see what I can find. And I want you guys for this one, I know you've done it before because you guys are not freshmen, but I want you to follow along with me as we cite a source together, just to remind you how to do it. Okay, I'm gonna go down to this one down here. This is got so much good information for me. I'm hoping you guys found equally good ones. Yes, yesterday. I guess it was just yesterday.
Yes.
That's so weird when you guys go to class every day. That's so weird.
It is weird.
Yeah, so just yesterday you found this. All right, I've got my source open. You guys would have copied and pasted that URL into there. And I am gonna go back to Noodle Tools. I don't know if you guys ever do this because I have lots of tabs open. I'm gonna put them right next to each other, if you guys wanna do that. All right, so creating my new source. First thing I have to decide is what type of source is it? Look up there, or look on your screen. What kind? Is it a database, website?
Website.
It is a website. And now it's going to give me some options. I am telling you, 9 times out of 10, maybe 9.8 times out of 10, it is always going to be this one in orange. It is going to be a web page. Okay? Even if it comes from a magazine originally, I would still do a web page. Okay, so I'm going to click on web page. And now it's going to ask me to input all of that information. I appreciate those people who are actually looking up here as we're doing this and not moving ahead because you might miss something. So thank you. All right, I'm going to go back to my thing. The first thing they want is the URL. Where do I get the URL?
The top bar.
To the top bar. Very good. You can just copy and paste that. This is going to be a lot of copying and pasting. Control C, go back to Noodle Tools, Control V. Now they want to know the date of the publication. You guys have done enough research that you know, using websites, are you always going to have a date? No. So what do you do if you can't find a date?
You put in today.
Say that again, Lily?
You put in today.
That's a good, well, there is this one, most recent date of access. That's where you would put today's date in. But as far as like when it was published, if you can't find it anywhere on the website, what do?
Don't put one.
Yeah, don't make anything up. If you don't have that information, you can't give that information. Now, does it make you feel better about a source when you can find a date?
Yes.
It does. For me, especially, why in science are dates important?
So you know when stuff was discovered.
Okay.
It
Yeah,
means
and
like-
are new things being discovered all the time, Lily? Yeah, so depending on what you're researching in science, I don't think algae cells have changed that much. But if you have the most up-to-date, that's what you want. Okay, where are the 2 places you can look to find if there is a date?
The bottom.
Yes, very good. The top and the bottom. So mine just happened to be like right here under this article, it's right there, but if you scroll all the way to the bottom, sometimes you can find the date as well. Okay, so July 21st, 2017. I actually have to type that in because it won't let me just copy and paste it. Okay, next they want to know contributors. Again, with websites, do you always have an author?
No.
No. Do we love it when we have an author because it
Yeah.
makes us trust it more?
No.
Yes. Right? But you don't always have the author, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad source. Especially if you check who's putting the information out there, who's publishing the information. If you trust that company, then you can trust the site. Okay, but let's go see if mine does. I'm batting 1,000 here. Who's my author?
Rochelle Lake.
Rochelle. And I'm just going to copy. Control C. You guys all know that. Control C, right? And then go back to Noodle Tools. And how do I get it in there? Control
V.
Control V. Okay. And take Leggett. Control C. Oops, I'm going to do Control X actually to cut it, and Control V. Okay? There we go. First and last name.
You put
Did I
it
say
in the
anything
middle
wrong?
name. You put it in the middle name though.
I did?
Mhm.
Oh, oops. I wasn't reading carefully.
Mhm.
You know what's nice about this, Miss Sheely, and I think you saw this last block,
Mhm.
if I make a mistake like that, is Noodle Tools going to tell me?
Yup.
It will. Let's see what it does. So I'm going to leave it just like that. All right. This week, description of the format to appear in brackets, you do not need that. Okay. Next one, see how this got a little red dot next to it? You know you have to do that. Web page. Okay, this is one of the most frequent mistakes I see, is people not realizing what the name of the web page is versus the name of the website. You have to give both. The web page, I would also call it like the article title. Somebody other than this very, very smart man up here, tell me what the name of the article or web page is.
The structure of algae.
Perfect! Awesome.
Good job, Evan.
All right, and I need to copy and paste it again. You aren't always this lucky, but here we go. And now, very next question, I believe, is the name of the website. Okay? Now, somebody who has not yet answered. What is the name of the website? Lily, I feel like you've answered. It's usually at the very top. Sciencing. You know what?
Good job.
Sometimes
Justin.
it's not super clear, and I feel like a pretty foolproof method of figuring out what the name of the website is when you come up here. It's right before the .com or the .edu. Usually it'll tell you if you're confused. You're like, oh, I'm not sure what the title is or the name of the website is. Okay, and I can't because this is like a image. I actually have to go in. Oh, maybe I could copy it from here. Copy that, since that is the title. Can you tell I don't like to type? Control V. Oh, look at that. It gives me a suggestion. The first word of the title should be capitalized. Thank you for that suggestion, Noodle Tools. I'll fix that right now. And that's it.
There's a
Now
yellow
now what do I
color.
have to do? Oh, it's giving me something. What is it saying here? I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about that because I know it's right. Where do I do? What's the next button I need to click?
Save.
Save. Ooh. Please note the role of the contributor. I just got a red alert. Let me go back up here. I frequently miss this. I forget that I have to pick whether it's the author, the editor, or the translator. It's going to usually be one of these two, most often the author. It will say, if it's anything other than the author, it'll say it's the editor. Okay, let me try again to save. Oh, remember that mistake Miss Sheely caught? Last name, I don't have a last name in there. So I'm going to fix that mistake. So I like the fact that it is going to help me out and not let me make mistakes. Okay? Save. All right, there it is. All right, you are going to keep adding. You have to have at least 2 sources, correct?
Yep.
For this. So you will continue to add new sources until you have cited all of them. And then I'm going to show you what to do when you've got all of them. Before I do that, remember back in my slides, if I go to algae, and this is A plus
Yes.
kind of
A plus material.
A plus material here. Okay, I have, in the last class somebody was doing algae, so I didn't want to give away too much information. But I pretended to quote some information, not quote it, state some information that I didn't already know. Algae is part of I'm not going to give it away, organism, all right? So I think that it is what are my options there? It's a
Unicellular
unicellular
or multicellular.
and I think it's unicellular.
Mhm, It is. It is.
It's part of a unicellular organism. I did not know that information until I looked it up. So if you are properly citing your sources, you're not only doing it at the end on the works cited, But you're doing it in your paper, or in this case, in your slides, so that Mr. Anderson and Miss Shealy know, well, where did they get that piece of information? And they can easily go to my Works Cited because of the way it's formatted. Scroll to my Works Cited. Which one did I get it from?
The top one.
The top one. Yeah, that's why it is that way. It's that first piece of information in your reference is always what's going to go in that in-text citation. Now, I don't expect you to remember all of those rules right off the bat, and apparently Noodle Tools doesn't either, because here's my citation for Leggett. If I click on options, it's going to tell me how to do the in-text citation. I mean, right? Are you blown away by this, Mr. Hara? Like, could you not have used this in like grad school?
That's useful.
So useful. And so, this is how I knew how to do it. Up here it says, at the end of the sentence, in parentheses, you're going to put Leggett 2017. Period always goes to the end, so you know what with that piece of information. If you want further information, like what do you do if you've got more than one author? All that stuff, it's all here for you. Right?
Wow.
It's amazing.
You're like, what are you guys talking about? You have no idea. All right. So, but again, this is A+ stuff. If you're putting those in-text citations in, it is the expectation as you get in higher level, like next year or the year after, it is the expectation.
Or maybe
Now-
later projects this year.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay.
Oh.
So now let's go back to how do I get these lovely citations, perfectly formatted citations out of Noodle Tools because I need them in my slides. I'm not going to make, Mr. Anderson go look over here to find them. What do I do to get it into my Google Sites? Somebody else, because I didn't know the answers. You're awesome, I bet.
No problem.
You got a lot today, though. What do you think?
I'm gonna tell you it's in this area. I want to get it out of here and into something else.
Alex, do you think you could take a stab at this? What do you think she would click on at the top?
Copy.
That's actually a good guess, but if we just copy it, then it's not going to keep the formatting. And formatting with citations is so important.
Or export thing.
Say it louder for the people in the back, Lily.
Export thing.
Oh no, who said? You said it. Oh, I'm sorry. Like I don't with masks on, you can't hear. Tell me your name.
Andy.
Handy. Okay, what did you say? That's exactly right. Oh, are you gonna do it?
Export to Google Docs.
Yeah. Okay. One of our options is not Google Slides where you want it, so our next best option is Google Docs. So go ahead. Beautiful. And then you're going to copy and paste it into your Google Slides. Easy as that, which is what I did here. Ta-da. All right.
Wait.